The disadvantage of having such a large escalade when it comes to be difficult for one to find their children anywhere. Fluttershy had been wandering around for hours before she found hers over by the duck pond. Screwball had stood over by her with her baby brother, and she covered her eyes. "Where's the baby?" Zany giggled as he vanished in sight, and his sister opened his eyes and looked around, smiled in one piece as she spotted the infant on the tree above. She then floated up to him and snatched him. "There he is!" The baby laughed as Screwball tickled his tummy. "So that's where you two have been all day," Fluttershy exclaimed, flying up to them. "Having fun?" "Loads," Screwball declared. "Isn't Zany just the cutest little baby you've ever seen?" Her mother chuckled and patted the infant's head. "I'd say he's grown tired with you, Screwball honey. Have you packed your things? Remember, we'll be staying in Canterlot for a week." "Oh, I did that an hour ago. Mom, why can't Zany come with us?" Fluttershy sighed and took the baby in her hooves. "We're going to be very busy. At the Grand Galloping Gala is no place for a baby. Besides, who knows what kind of magical surges Zany will get when he's in there. He might turn the ballroom to ice, the castle into gingerbread, put spiders in Princess Flutterby Lily's bed. Oh, the little harmless prank, and you're labeled for life. Come on, Mom. I could keep him in line. The princesses haven't seen him yet. Perhaps another time, honey, when things are a little less hectic." Inside, Fluttershy was crying at the thought of leaving her precious baby boy behind, but she rarely had left her sight since he was born, and she would not let anyone other than Screwball or Discord handle him. She figured Applejack was feeling the same way about leaving with Applespike. "I don't know about this, Granny Smith," Applejack said. "Taking care of two foals and plus Wyona and the other animals can't be easy, and Applespike can be a handful. And there's no telling what Zany would do," Fluttershy exclaimed. "Don't you all worry about your little ones," the elderly pony assured them. "They'll be in good hooves here. Don't forget to feed them every hour," Applejack reminded them. "There are some sapphires in cupboards when they get picky, and if you need help burping them, you point his head away from anything flammable, and don't forget to even a 7-hour bubble bath. His 7-hour bubble bath to be extra bubbly, and keep your hoof away from his mouth. His teeth are starting to come in." "Ouch," Cinnamon Roll cried out, pulling her hoof away from the baby's crib. "She's not kidding." "And make sure Zany doesn't drink too much chocolate milk," Fluttershy advised, "because he gets hyper and his magic gets out of control, and you'll have to read him a bedtime story and sing a lullaby. Otherwise, he'll never get to sleep. And Applespike will make a fuss at night if he doesn't have his bean key," Applejack assisted. "I got it covered, hon," Granny Smith declared. "After all, I had to take care of you and your brother and sister." "Yeah, and that was different. Big Mac and I were practically grown up. Applespike and Zany are not like the other foals." "Yeah," Cinnamon Stick nodded. "Just last week, the little tyke singed my eyebrows while I was feeding him." "Ya say?" Spike chuckled and then laid a claw on his wife's shoulder. "Little Applespike will be fine, honey. I think we all know that there's nothing to worry about, as Granny Smith can handle." "What about Zany?" Fluttershy asked worriedly. "His actions are unpredictable. What if he teleports himself in the Everfree Forest and gets attacked by timberwolves? And what if he gets invisible and can't turn back? What if—" Discord clapped his claw over her mouth. "Quit worrying, dear. Nothing bad is going to happen to our baby. He is a Discord after all." "Now, come on, girls," Spike insisted. "We're going to miss the train." The Draconequest groaned. "For the 1000th time, I can get us all there in a second." "But the train rides are fun," Cinnamon Roll declared. "But they take forever." "You can go ahead if you want, Dad," Screwball said. "But I want to take the train. You know I spend more time with Mom." Discord sniffed. "What are you talking about? I love trains." Cheerily then entered the house with a saddlebag on her. "Is every pony all set to go?" "1 second," Screwball said. She turned to Zany and made her a stuffed dragon appear in her hooves. "Here, little bro," she said, handling it to him. "Sir Fainsalop will keep you company." The baby looked curiously at the toy and put its claw in it from its mouth. No, it's not for eating." She silently put a spell on Fainsalop, causing Zany to squeal and release it from its mouth. "You'll be good, all right," she said, rubbing his belly. "Everything will be okay," Fluttershy assured the son frantically. "Mommy will be home soon." Discord reached in and ruffled his hair, causing him to giggle. Meanwhile, Applejack and Spike were saying their final goodbyes to their baby. "No frying any pony, you hear?" Spike said. "You really think he'll be alright?" Applejack whispered. "Oh, he'll be fine." Discord had to pry Fluttershy from the crib. "You have nothing to worry about, honey." "No," she screams. He needs me. I have to stay with him, he sighed. I don't want to do this, but you leave me no choice. He snapped his fingers and teleported her into his arms. She kept kicking and screaming, trying to get to her baby. Have fun, y'all, Granny Smith waved before shutting the door. Then she turned around and gasped. Zany was missing from his crib. Where did that little scamper went off to? She heard a laughter above her and woke up to find the infant falling from the ceiling. Oh, Nuggets. Did you see the tickets, Red? Pinky asked her husband at the train station. Let's see, the red-haired orange pony said as he dug through his saddlebag. They should be, huh? I seem to misplace them. What? Pinky screeched. Red, the training is leaving in 5 minutes, and Twilight is expecting us, and if you don't show up, she'll think we've forgotten all about her, and she'll forget us, and I'll be such a terrible friend, and... Wait, I think I know where they are. You do? Yeah, right. He reached behind his ear and then pulled out 5 tickets. Here! Pinky squealed. I love it when you do that. And how does he do that? Rarity marveled, scratching her head. He has no horns, no sleeves, nothing. Whenever the others are gonna show up, Cherry Pie asked impatiently. Yeah, Raspberry Pie demanded. Where are Thunder and Lightning and Prism and Rainbow and Soren and Screwball and Dinky and Cinnamon Stick? Blueberry Pie continued. Oh, and Discord and Fluttershy and... Okay, Gemstone screamed. We get it. The apples should be coming soon, Rarity responded. Along with the Dews and the Discords and the Dashes will be arriving at the gala with the Wonderbolts. Old Spike came in panting in the room of the platform, followed by the rest of the group. Sorry we're late, guys, but it took a little while to drag Fluttershy away from Zany. I just know something bad's gonna happen, Fluttershy shrieked as she struggled from Discord's grasp. I have to go back to him. Honey, he's fine, Discord insisted. You're getting all worked up over nothing. The train is leaving, for Canterlot is leaving, the conductor called from the train. All aboard! That's going on board. Of course, Twilight Sparkle paced around her room, trying to settle her worries that were swimming in her mind. Keep it together, she said. So if there's another chaotic being flying around, Screwball turned out okay, and Discord hasn't caused any trouble in years, she groaned and stomped her hoof, then why am I so bored by this? Her thoughts that she had been sorted out this long ago. After saving her life and making the friend the happiest mare in the world and raising a powerful daughter as well, shouldn't Discord have completed her trust? Well, since Screwball was born, she had feared the child would lose control and Equestria would be in a state of unrest once again. And she thought that she did not love Screwball. It was not that. She was her goddaughter after all, and she was a little crazy, but she was just as sweet as Fluttershy. One night the little filly had caught Twilight in the library and summoned a swarm of fireflies to give her the light. But despite her moments, there were times where things got out of hoof. When she got angry at some pony, the spiders would appear in her bed or something and would fall on her head. At the last year's Grand Galloping Gala, she made the chocolate fountain explode. Twilight quivered as she recalled the filly had turned horn into a candy cane. No mystery where she got that idea. Now there was a second child of Discord, and she had only been seen him since his birth, and this had been made the baby bottles in the hospital come to life. What if he turned out like his father had? Well, of course, Discord has Twilight's main concern. And sure, he seemed good now, but what if he replies or something? There was no predicting on what he would do. A knock on the brought Twilight out of her train of thought. Come in, she called. Once she saw who was at the door, stiffened. Standing there was a Pegasus guard with a golden coat, blue eyes, and a blue tail, and he was taller than her, and her being an alicorn so long had increased her height, and they were at the same eye level. For this moment she would have preferred Discord. For a while neither of them said anything, and then just stared at each other. Twilight tried to utter his name, but the shock muted her. The guard shook his head and straight up. Twilight, Your Highness, your friends have arrived. Twilight snapped out of her trance and nodded. Yes, thank you, Flash. He then avoided his glaze and walked out of the door, and then stopped when she heard footsteps behind her. She turned to look at him with a demanding explanation. Princess Cadence has transferred to you, her guard, Flash Sentry said. Why? She didn't say. Anyway, my duty is to you now. She then raised an eyebrow at him. Very well, carry on. Twilight then turned back and looked at them, and continued her path with her nose in the air. Sentry Flash was following her fervor. Actually, Twilight, I wanted to talk. Oh, so why are we back to our first name basis again? The alicorn snapped. That's why I wanted to talk about. Well, maybe it's a little too late for that, isn't it? Maybe it would have been so long if you haven't ignored me in the past. You'll have to excuse me. My friends are waiting. Twilight, why won't you listen to... Good day to you, sir. She picked up the pace and resisted the urge to look back, but then it hadn't been the first time since they'd spoken to each other in years. Then Twilight reached the entrance hall. The group had already met with Flutterby Lily, the youngest princess with her mother's pink coat and her father's blue mane, and stood at the average height. She then raced up to Screwball and they did their traditional greeting. Sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Clap your hooves and do a little shake. Flutterby Lily laughed. Have you all gotten taller? Well, maybe, Dinky shrugged, or maybe you're getting smaller. Rarity, Applejack, Pinky, and Fluttershy, Twilight called, rushing down the steps. Her best friend greeted them with a hug. Geez, Pinky exclaimed, looking at the Alicorn. And Lily was just saying the kids have gotten taller? Twilight then gasped at the sight of Spike. Not much as Spike has, that's for sure. She had remembered her oldest friend. She was shocked to find out that she went up to his neck now, and it seemed to be only yesterday that he hatched out of his egg. I'm so glad you're all here. Come on, Lily and I want to show you to your rooms. As they trudged through the corridors, Rarity gave Twilight her usual pestering. Twilight, darling, there is this friend of Fancy Pants is around your age, and the Alicorn groaned. No, Rarity, I'm not getting roped into another one of your blind dates. Oh, but Twilight, you're the only one who isn't married. We sure that you'd be happy as we are. Rarity, I hate to say this, but Alicorns are immortal. I have plenty of time to find some special pony, and I will get one once I do have one. The unicorn sighed. Oh, very well. By the way, where is Fancy Pants? Rarity's face grew whiter than usual. He has some business conference that he couldn't make it, but he might make it to the gala. Hey, Pinky piped in. Is that Flash Sentry? Hi, Flash. Twilight stopped her in her tracks to see the starling in front of her. It was an awkward silence again until Flash borrowed continuously. Your Highness? Twilight nodded. Sir Sentry? He then stepped out of the path and let her pass. Twilight bit her lip. It was all she could do to keep herself from crying.